In the afternoon, there's a word that dropped into my spirit, and I was like, let me come and share it to somebody because I've been receiving messages that even that message that you preached was so powerful. It made me start thinking. It's just you visited my spirit, and I've made some decision based on that word that you dropped, and that is the most important thing. The word of God has to come to transform and change you and begin to make you for you to start looking at yourself different and how you carry yourself. So I'm going to talk about it. When God changes strategies, it does not mean that he has left you. So this word came from the book, from the story that I was meditating upon. Let me read in the book of Exodus 13. There's a 21 to 22. The Bible reads, the Lord went ahead of them. He guided them during the day with a pillar of cloud, and he provided light at night with a pillar of fire. This allowed them to travel day and night. And who are these? These are the children of Israel. So let me go to 22. The 22 says, and the Lord did not remove the pillar of cloud or the pillar of fire from its place in front of the people. So meaning that this cloud of fire was in front of the people. This pillar of fire and this pillar of cloud was always in front of the people. Yeah. So for the children of Israel, as they are going, they were seeing the pillar of fire. As they are moving, if it is in the day, they were seeing the pillar of cloud. So that is what was leading them. Now listen, when the Egyptian started following the children of Israel, see what happened. Now we go to Exodus 14, verse 19. I'll expand, okay? Then the angel of the Lord, who was leading the children of Israel, moved to a rear of camp. The pillar of cloud also moved from the front and stood behind them. So now here there was a strategy that was changed. My God. There was a strategy that was changed. That angel, which was the angel of the Lord, which was leading, moved away from the rear of the camp. And that pillar of cloud, it moved. Instead of being in front, it went behind them. Listen, 2020. The crowd settled between the Egyptians and the Israelites' camp. As darkness fell, the crowd turned to fire. Hey, God. The crowd turned to fire, light up the night. But the Egyptians and the Israel did not approach each other all night. My God. So what am I saying? When we talk about it, the children of Israel, right? When God had already given them an angel that was going ahead of them. That angel of God was going ahead of them each and every day. When it is night, that pillar was changing into fire, and by day it was changing into cloud. And now there was a time when the Egyptians were pursuing the children of Israel to return back to Egypt. Hey, God. So when the Egyptians were pursuing the children of Israel to return into Egypt, as they were crossing the Red Sea, the Egyptians were coming with their chariot very fast. So now what happened is that angel of the Lord, instead of now being in front, he moved away, and that pillar of fire, hey God, that pillar of cloud went backwards. So sometimes you may be seeing God in front all the time of your life, and sometimes it looks that he's not there. Not knowing that this God has changed the strategy. The reason that the angel of the Lord had to change the strategy, and so that the pillar of fire and cloud go behind, it was because he was preventing the Egyptians the Egyptians to meet the Israelites. So sometimes you may be looking at God in front of you, but not knowing that God has taken his position to go back, to go to the back, so that and fight for you the battles that are behind. So when God changes strategies in your life, it does not mean that he has left you. It's just because he's trying to put some things, oh God, hey, not he's trying, he's putting some things that you cannot see. There's some battles that are fighting you, enemies that are following you from behind. But because God was leading you, he turns away from leading to fight in battles for you. To fight in the battles that you cannot see behind. To fight the battles that are being seen in the secret place that you cannot see. To fight the battles, to fight enemies that are after your life. You may not see it. And at that particular time, if you're not careful, you begin to think that God has left you. No, God cannot leave you. He says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. So God has not left you. The only thing that God has done, he has changed his pattern. That's why God cannot be described. That's why you find that the way God does things is that he will lift even people that we did not expect, because God is a God of strategy. So your life, he has strategy, he has put it in strategy. That every time you are looking up to God ahead of you, but sometimes God may go behind you so that he should clear the enemies that are behind you. Because if those enemies are not cleared, they'll follow you. So now, that time was like a time for last fight. You know those people who watch movies. So it was like now Egyptians, instead of now fighting the children of Israel, they now began, because now when the angel turned and the pillar of cloud came behind of them, so it was not the fight between the Israelites and the Egyptians. It was because the Egyptians were behind. It was a fight between the Egyptians and God. Hey, God. It was a fight between God and the Egyptians. So that's why at the end of the day, the children of Israel crossed the Red Sea. And now the Egyptians, they saw that these people, God is fighting for them. So what did happen? God dealt with them, and the Egyptians were drowned in the Red Sea. So when God changes how you see him, when you cannot see God the way you are, when you are seeing God in front and you cannot see, it does not mean that he has left you, but there's a backup. You have a backup from heaven. You have a backup from God. So beware of what God is doing. God is a God of strategy. He does not want to leave your enemies pending, because if he leaves them, they'll follow you in the future. So now he changes the strategy to make sure that your back is well and where you're going is well. So God bless you. This is what I want to tell you. So remember, when God, you're not seeing God the way you used to see him. It does not mean that he's quiet. It does not mean that he has left you. It does not, as long as what you're doing, you're walking in the ways of God, you are heading to the promised land. That's the most important thing. And as you are heading to the promised land, allow him to fight his battle. Let it be a clear game. The battle is for the Lord and victory is yours. So the God of strategy, he may change things, how he's operating. Sometimes you don't have to see it. All you have to do is focus in going. God bless you. I hope this has been a blessing to somebody. God bless you, and I love you.